Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News, a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. That being said, the first thing that we have to talk about this week comes straight from the title and thumbnail of the video. That is, does BMX need more corporate sponsorship? And this comes up because Brad Sims is now riding for Adidas in 510. There's a real quick welcome video. It's only a minute long. You can check that out if you want to, with Brad Sims' amazing riding. But this brings up the question of, does BMX need more corporate sponsorship? And my short answer to that is, no, but it could use it. I don't think that BMX needs corporate sponsorship by any means, so don't think that I'm saying that here. But I do think that if we approach it the right way, it could definitely be very beneficial. Corporate sponsorship is a touchy subject in BMX, but I feel like it's only a touchy subject for the vocal minority. I feel like the vast majority of people who ride BMX either don't know or don't care about corporate sponsorship in the BMX world. But for that vocal minority, it is a very, very touchy subject. There's a lot of people who say, we don't want these companies coming in here and trying to make their money off of BMX and then leaving. And to that, I would say, well, they're not making money off of BMX. They're making money using BMX riders. Aside from a few inevitable cases here and there, these corporate sponsors aren't exactly coming in and taking money directly out of the pockets of the riders or rider-owned companies. You could make a case here with Adidas and 510 with companies like SCG Shoes, which is a rider-owned company, but that is where competition comes into play, and if SCG makes a good product that is available, then people may choose that over 510. But aside from situations like that, you aren't going to see Slim Jim or 1-800-COLLECT or whatever other corporate sponsorship you want to choose taking money directly out of someone else's pocket in the BMX world. It's usually companies that have absolutely nothing to do with bicycles that are the corporate sponsorships coming in, and what I would say is making money using a BMX rider rather than making money from BMX, because it's not coming from the industry. It's not coming from our pie of BMX and the BMX industry. It might be coming from the same people who contribute to that pie, but it's not coming from it directly. And that is why I say if we approach this correctly, it could be very beneficial and not end up with so much heartache in the end, because we know in the end, these corporate sponsorships are never going to last. No one's going to retire off of them unless they make enough money. And that is my point in this. If someone goes into it knowing that a corporate sponsorship is not going to last forever, but also realizing that the corporate sponsor has a lot of money, it could be very beneficial for that person and even BMX if it's gone about the right way with contests and cool video projects and other things of that nature. People hate on Nigel Sylvester a lot. What I feel a lot of these people who hate don't think about or realize is that someone like Nigel has set himself up for life using BMX as a tool, but without relying on the BMX industry or money from the BMX industry. And that is the most important part of this. If people go into corporate sponsorships realizing the potential of setting themselves up for life from this short period of time in their life using BMX as a tool, they could be so much more better off and potentially do some really great things for BMX in the process. So to circle it all back around, does BMX need more corporate sponsorship? No, absolutely not. And I know that we would be just fine if no corporate sponsors ever got involved with BMX ever again. But if the opportunities present themselves and riders approach it the right way, they could set themselves up for life with corporate sponsorships. Even though they're not riding for them forever and they might drop entire teams, they could set themselves up for life through these things, and they could do great things for BMX. And while I don't think that we'll see Dave Mirra Slim Jim sticker on the helmet money again, just because of the uniqueness of that era and how huge BMX was in the mainstream, as well as all the TV time that it got, and that TV time being what made that sponsorship pay so much, I do think that there are huge opportunities that could be available if we're open to them, and if people change their mindsets from these corporate sponsorships being money grubbing and trying to just come in and make money from BMX, to the fact that there are opportunities for people to set themselves up and get themselves into a better position in life, we could be a lot better off for it. But who knows, maybe most all of you already think this way, and there's just this very vocal minority that is very vocally against this on the internet. That's why the comment section's there, so let me know your guys' thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below, and let's move on to the rest of the BMX news. We've got more sponsorship news. As I've been saying, the beginning of a year and the end of the previous brings a lot of sponsorship news, and I have no doubt that there will be more. We've got news that Maca Perez is on Sunday Pro. I think this might be Sunday's first female pro rider, which is huge news, and it's really awesome to hear. There's no video or anything like that, just the news. Then we've got the news that DeMarcus Paul is on Etnies Pro. Once again, no video, just the news, but this is really cool to see for DeMarcus. And Etnies is another one of these companies that has been in and out of BMX for years, and now they're coming back in. DeMarcus Paul's on Etnies Pro. They're hooking up a ton of riders, and I think that it's really good that riders are recognizing this opportunity and taking advantage of it while they still can. Then we've got the recap for the Toyota Triple Challenge that went down in Houston. Yes, that's right, a physical contest went down already in 2021. The Toyota Triple Challenge with the big dirt jumps. There's also a practice video up on our BMX that's linked down below. The recap is pictures and Jeff Z's written recap of the event. I'm sure that there's going to be a video coming at some point, but it's not out yet. And that brings us to the videos from this week. First up, we've got Garrett Reynolds, A Lost and Found from Cinema. This is footage from 2010 to 2012, and you would just never even know it if it wasn't for the fact that it's Garrett and the fact that he's 1 up, 2 up, like 5 upped a lot of this stuff at this point, and the appearance of him and other people in the video. It is just amazing how good and how on another level he was even back in 2010 and 2012. This footage is 9 to 11 years old, and it still holds up today. This could still all be put out today and still be amazing. And that is so cool to see from someone. Garrett's just the best. There's no denying it. Garrett is the best, and you're gonna want to check this one out. There's no music, it's just raw footage. It is definitely awesome to see. Then we've got Pat Casey's Dream Yard 4 from Monster. This is an all-out production. I have no idea how they did the time lapse at the beginning. They had to use a drone or something, but it's literally like a drone time lapse of them building a whole bunch of the skate park at his house, and the production value of everything in this edit. Then when it comes to the riding, it's Pat Casey's Dream Yard video. You know he's not gonna one down himself. The last 2 clips in here are mind-blowing. I don't even know what to call this last clip. I have no idea what it even is. It's just crazy. The second to last clip, Pat does a 180 triple tail whip up a step up. Crazy stuff. Check that one out if you want to. Both are linked in the description below, as well as everything else that I've talked about and will talk about today. And then we've got Dave Crone's Golden Nuggets from S&M. This one was released on his birthday this past week, and it says in the description here that Dave has been rehabbing hard for the last year or so after 2 wrist injuries and 1 surgery. So I'm pretty sure that this is a compilation of some of his previous stuff, but man, it's always so good to see. I've raved about Dave Crone in previous videos and given him so much praise, so I'm not going to go on one of those right now. I'll just say that you need to watch this video because Dave Crone rides his bike like no one else rides their bike. It is so entertaining, and he uses spots differently than anyone else would, and I love seeing it. And we've got a bunch of other videos that I felt were worth mentioning, but I didn't want to talk super in-depth about. We've got Loading Bay and Dig Modularity, where they literally built like a street setup, street plaza thing in the loading bay for people to ride during COVID and all that stuff, because Scotland, 1, doesn't have great weather, and 2, COVID. Then we've got Dakota Brat's Brocam video, Paul Pollin's Winter Warehouse BMX, Street Watch, Virginia Fellows. This one has a lot of really awesome dudes in it. Then we've got Chris Field of Dreams section. This has got a lot of tech stuff in it, so there's a lot of different variety in this week's news video. Then we've got It's Time, which is a longer video for those of you who might want a longer video to check out. And we've got one product related thing. I feel like we haven't had hardly any product related things to talk about in quite a while. It's probably got something to do with COVID and how it's backing up the actual production of BMX stuff in the industry. But we've got a promo for Brett Silva's 2021 Sunday Forecaster, and then we've got some interview stuff. First, we've got a video with Dennis Enerson from Rockstar called Behind the Rockstar, And then we've got an Unclicked podcast, this time with the Fast and Loose dudes, Corey Walsh, Matt Cordova, and Chris Fox. And this one I haven't gotten all the way through yet, but what I have listened to is super awesome. These guys are all down to earth, chill dudes who all have good things to say, and they're all positive, and it's a good listen so far, and I'm sure the rest of it will be. So I'm going to finish this one out, and you guys should too. Let me know your thoughts on that one in the comments down below. And also let me know what you guys think about corporate sponsorship in BMX, and if you maybe agree that we should use it as a tool to further ourselves rather than outcasting it because they're trying to come in and make money, just like everyone in the world is, because the whole world is ran by money pretty much. So with that being said, that's the end. Thank you for watching. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow because you'll be subscribed. Goodbye.